welcome back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching Hate and Love Have a Date. Karibu sana. Welcome back. My name is Susan. For those of you who don't know me, and welcome to Rooted Word. Thank you so much. And let's continue from where we left off. But today we're going to talk about the importance of mentorship. The importance of mentorship. I know it's not, it's one of those things, but mentorship, influence, leadership, I'm heading to where I love to be. So today we're going to talk about Esther. And Esther had a very good mentor. And the mentor was her uncle, and his name, we discussed him last time, is Mordecai. So Esther had a good mentor. You know, sometimes we get to places and we think we got there alone, and it's really wrong. Nobody gets anywhere by themselves. Like, really, honestly, so many people have contributed into this person's life, into this person's journey. And we have a lot of people who maybe don't realize that mentorship and people who poured into their lives brought them to a certain place. Now, the reason why I've picked Esther, I just think she has wisdom. Esther has so much wisdom. For those of you who know, Esther was an orphan. Mordecai raised her up. There was a queen, which we shall not discuss today, who was dethroned, and Esther was picked up because there was a decree that was made that all these young ladies, all the virgins, should go to the courts, and the king was going to pick one of them. And the story goes, Esther was the one picked. But before we go into that, I just want to let you know that by the time Esther is being taken, the uncle gives her some nuggets. Like, when you go, please don't say who you are. All right. And the way I understand, Mordecai brought up this young woman to be a very respectful woman. She had good manners, good morals, in as much as that was the only parent she had. Her mom had died, her dad had died. That's in the Bible. Why do I say this? Because it seems when Esther entered this court with all the other ladies, the eunuchs, there's this eunuch who really liked her and showed her favor. And not just showed, I mean, she got favor from this guy in such a way that he went out of his way, and I'm going to put it up in the Bible, and you can read it, and put her even in a nice place. So this lady, this Esther, seemed to have taken on her uncle's character traits or personalities. He brought her up with, good morals, good values, good vibes, let me call it that way, respectful and all. And that led her to have favor. And this lady found favor because she found favor with the eunuch, she found favor with the king, and became queen. Now, a situation arises where we talked about Haman and his craziness for Mr. Mordecai here. And he gets to a point where he sends out this decree with the king's signet, and all the Jews are going to be killed on a certain day. And when the Jews hear this, and especially Mordecai, he can't understand. He doesn't know whether it's what happened. He needs to seek God. He's very distraught, very distressed, as any group of people would be, any nation would be. And so he rips his clothes off, he puts on sackcloth, he's wailing, he's crying, he's praying. And the eunuchs and the women of the court where Queen Esther is, they come and tell her, this your uncle or this your guy here he's doing this and that outside. And she sends, she wants to know, what is it? What is happening? And he tells her, I beseech you, go and talk to your husband, the king, because there's a decree that has gone out. We're all going to be killed and all this and this. And let me tell you, Esther is an obedient girl. However, she's a stickler to the rules also. She's a stickler to the rules. She's obedient, and she's finding her way as queen, all right? And she comes back with this word to Mordecai and says, very well, I cannot, this, I mean, come on, I cannot bring myself to the king just like that, there are rules and regulations, and if I do, it is not allowed, I can even die. And it's very interesting. I find that answer a very genuine answer. It's a genuine answer. She's like, okay, I understand. You're asking me to do something that is never done, and if I do it just like that, I can die. But the answer that her uncle gives her and says, Esther, let me remind you, who knows? Maybe you're in that particular place at this particular time for this particular issue. But let me be clear. I can't force you. You have to seek and see what what is right. And even if you do not do it, God will do it for us. But for your household, for your parents' name, for everything, that's that. It's a done deal. And you know, the response Esther gives now is like, okay. It's like, you know, when you've been mentored by somebody, when you've been trained and brought up by somebody, when you've been taught by somebody very well, you realize that indeed, you know, there's a point where you have to come and agree with your mentor, you know, and you realize, okay, I've had you mentor. Now it's up to me. You've poured all of these things into me. Now, what am I going to do with everything that you've taught me, everything that you've given me, even the fact that you've told me, but perhaps I'm even here for this particular reason. And Esther sends a message and says, okay, please, I am going to fast and pray. Can you also tell everybody to fast and pray? And she says something very interesting. She says, then I will approach the king, and if I die, so be it. Now, I believe that fasting and praying, that answer she gave, her uncle must have also taught her that. Yes, they are Jews, and yes, it could be a common thing maybe that they did, but this is not a common issue. This is not a common issue. And you know, it says her and her maid servants, they ate and drank nothing. There was nothing. She was nothing. She wasn't taking anything. She was in prayer and fasting. And I believe also that when she did this, she was like, you know what, Lord, if I die, I die, you know. And the wisdom for her to approach the king. And so she goes, she approaches the king. He saves her with the scepter, the golden scepter. Read the thing, I'll put it there. And then, now let's go back to our friend, Mr. Haman. She has the wisdom. You know, let me tell you, as a woman, if I know something and my husband is the king and he's like, baby, tell me what you want. And then you say, oh, sweetie, come, let's have lunch tomorrow, and then I'll tell you. He's like, no, tell me now. I can even give you half of it. He's like, no, let's just come tomorrow. And then come with Haman, Come with Haman. And then he comes with Haman, and they eat, and they have a nice time. And he's like, okay, sweetie pie, queen of my life, queen, tell me what you want. And she's like, no, you come tomorrow. Just come tomorrow. Let me tell you, me, honestly, I find wisdom. Because this issue is serious. It's serious. And the dude is right there. The Haman in himself is just right there. You know, let me tell you, sometimes we will just be pointing. You'll be like, this man has done blah on the first day like this. But Esther had grace. She had patience. She had poise. She had, I think, an understanding. Esther was actually royalty, because royals are not supposed to rush into things. You are supposed to take a moment or two, ponder, think it over, find out diplomacy, you know. Don't just be rushing in saying all sorts of things. And let me tell you, in the time Esther is doing this, God is also trying to warn Haman on what I said the last time. That's what I think. But in her wisdom, then, she now tells the husband, this is what is happening. This is the man who is causing me all these issues and my people and all these things. And she's very wise. She says, you know, if we were sold into slavery, I wouldn't even bother you. But we've been free. And why would anybody wake up and just want to kill a whole nation? And, you know, and so the wisdom of mentorship, the wisdom of accepting to be mentored, and not just accepting to be mentored, learning from your mentor, gaining wisdom from the people who pour into your lives. Let me tell you guys, the Bible actually says, and I pray I'm doing it in Timothy, that we older women, we are supposed to teach the younger women. And let me tell you, if there's a time people don't want to be told or taught, it is now. It is crazy. The Bible says also that good will become bad and bad will become good. The way people answer people these days, the way people despise mentorship and wisdom of older people, it is shocking. But they will gather and gain their own result. So I thank God for Esther. And I thank God for Mordecai, because this was a guy, a loving father. He became a father. He was patient, he was loving, he was kind, he was considerate, but he was also very clear. Now, when you're a mentor, just a little word for those who mentor people. Mentor with clarity, mentor with truth, mentor with sound advice. Because these young people might not be Esther's. These young people of nowadays, like all of them, they think we didn't do the same things, but we didn't do it to their level. Every young person believes they know better because of the current environment they are in, and because they are maybe making it, breaking it, and doing all the things. But let me tell you, those of you who've chosen to mentor, have the kindness and the patience and the love and the grace for these young people. Let us not give up on mentoring. Let us not give up in sharing wisdom. And let us who are being mentored also, even at my age, I'm being mentored. Yeah. Let us take in and be thankful for those who've mentored you. So if you have a mentor, I would suggest you reach out to your mentors, all of them in whatever aspect that you have them in, and say a big thank you. Because one of the things I've also realized in life is by the time you want to say thank you to someone, maybe the person is not there. And we had all the time to thank all the people who really brought us to where we are. So I didn't make it to where I am by myself. Apart from my parents, and apart from a special group of people called the Ndundus, and apart from a very special group of family friends who are not even family friends, they are like parents to me, and sisters and brothers. They know themselves, the Kiboros, the Kiriros. I just want to say a shout out to you guys. There are so many people. There's my Hospital Hill family, there's my Kabarak family, there's my USIU family, like goodness. There's my church family. There are so many. Oh, in the church, I don't even know where to say thank you. All of you guys, like, why the church? There are so many. Actually, even from when I was a kid, I can just say down the road, I used to go to something called Rosebuds. I think it was Mr. and Mrs. Russell. I don't remember. But every Saturday they had some activities. Rosebuds was a girls only club. It was really cool. And I even remember the song up to today. I just want to say thank you. There's so many people who I really appreciate. There's one special person, Mr. Michael Mithika, you know yourself. You led me to salvation. You really stuck in with me. That's a story for another day. But hey, Michael really, he did a good job sharing the love of Christ with me. And that's how actually I became a Christian. So we'll be talking about that later on. I mean, there's so many people who have poured into my life, so many friends, and I think I'll take the rest of the year just once in a while mentioning you guys out. And even right now, thank you for my church. Thank you for the ministers and the pastors. Thank you for my church family. I just want to say thank you so much. For my church family, thank you. CLJ Maranatha, thank you. Prophet Joy Lutuka, Salma Lutuka, thank you so much. And just saying thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your mentorship. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all for pouring into my life. Yeah, I mentorship is a very important thing, as we've seen, and I pray that we don't give up in mentoring these young people, and we don't give up in getting mentored, because wisdom, there is a lot of wisdom in mentorship. And so yeah, or anyway, I can go on and on and on and on about mentorship, but I just want to say thank you so much. I hope this has been a blessing to you. I hope you take the time and yeah, mentor people, get to be mentors. But I just want to say thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe, and most importantly, comment. Until the next one, I want to say bye.